Hello traders, and welcome to Trading the Trend. I am Dennis, and this is my weekend report for a week ending August 19th. And as you can see, we're looking at the S&P 500, and we are clearly in the boring weeks of August. I mean, 2 weeks in a row, the market is just sitting here. I think there's only like $1 between this candle here and then this week's candles. So, and it was only about a 18-cent move for the week. So very little movement here in the S&P. It was a mixed week, though. You did have gains in the transportation, Russell 2000, and semiconductors. Let me take a look at the semiconductors. They are on a tear right here. I mean, this is parabolic. I don't know how long this can continue. So if you're not already in, you're probably late to the party, at least with this run. But maybe we get a pullback, and this is definitely an index you may want to be looking to add if you're not already in it on a pullback. Now let's look at commodities. And we had pullbacks in the metals. We'll look at the gold miners first. A pretty good move down this past week. We just cannot get past that 3150 point. Looks like 3 weeks we've been trying to get through it, and we just cannot get there. So that maybe this thing needs another week of sideways, slightly down movement until we can make another move through it. Both gold and silver are in a slightly downward consolidation. So the metals are just kind of stuck here, waiting for the next big event to push them higher. And oil, that's where the happening is going on right now. Here it is. For the week, a big up move in oil. Surprisingly, we're not seeing a whole lot of spikes in gasoline prices locally. They've gone up a few cents, but nothing major. But oil had another big week, and I would expect to see it challenge that $51 area this coming week. Maybe we hit this line and pull back before we can get through there, but you know, that's our neckline for this head and shoulders trade I've been talking about. So once we can break through $51 and actually get a weekly close above it, then then we can start looking at some of these other numbers. Maybe we can take out these highs over here in the 63 area, and then after that we'll see how high it goes. Now let's look at some currencies. First, we'll look at my strong week rankings, and just as much as the rest of the market, we're not moving a whole lot here. Probably the best of the week was the European currencies. Looks like the Euro, Chef, and even the pound gained a little bit on the week. U.S. dollar and particularly the Aussie were all weak for the week. And now let's look at some actual currency pairs. Actually, I wanted to end with that one, but since we're already there, let's go ahead and take a look at it. This is the U.S. dollar, Canadian dollar. We've had this bit of a bearish flag pattern going, and we finally got the engulfing candle down. We did get some continuation this week, although it did finish with a pullback. That's where the tail came in. And if we look at this on the daily, we can see we had 9 down candles in a row, and then on Friday we get the reversal candle. We did finish off the high, so maybe that was the end of it, but we'll just have to see. This thing certainly could go up a little bit further before making its next step lower, but I do feel the trend is now down for this, and this pullback here is just going to be a shorting opportunity. Now let's look at a few others. Euro US dollar had a good up candle for the week. Again, you see a little bit of a wick hanging out there as the US dollar was strong on Friday but weak the rest of the week. And this thing looks like it wants to get back up here to the top of this trading range. We'll see what happens when it gets up there. That might give us a opportunity to either go short, or if it actually can get above this red line and show some support there, then maybe it's time to look to a long position in Euro US dollar. And then we will look at the Aussie US dollar. This thing's just been in this slow grind heading upward. 2 weeks in a row we've challenged this 0.7750 area, and it's been rejected. We saw it rejected over here, so now that is a line of major resistance, and until we can get through that, that's kind of risky going long right here. Maybe we get a little bit more of a pullback and we can establish some kind of a support area down here before we head up. I do expect this on the long run to continue to move higher. We back out a little bit. We've had a pretty clear double bottom here, so we're trying to turn this thing around and head back up. The 200 week moving average is way up here, so this thing has a long ways to head higher. Even though the long-term trend is down, it could still run upwards for several months for us yet. So anyway, that's what I have for you for this week. Hopefully everyone has a great week, and if you want to take some time off from trading, this is the month to do it. Not a lot going on, so catch y'all later.